Hi there, welcome and thank you for being here. I hope you're having a gorgeous day or night. We're going to get you some clarity today and see what would be helpful for you to know. It's a timeless reading. Whenever it finds you, it's perfect. See what resonates. You're going to know when it's your message because it'll twinkle. And if it doesn't feel like your message, it's just for somebody else. Always follow and trust that beautiful, deep, direct, divine connection that is in you to your higher self, to God, to source, to the universe, it says, because the answer is always in you. And try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition, so your decisions are sound, based in love, and for the highest, greatest good of everybody. So we're all uplifted in love. We're going to start today with the life and career and see what's going on. Life, career in general, project you're thinking about or working on. Let's see what God, source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, wow, angels, wow, and energies of love have for the highest and greatest good of all. That's a really big energy to pop on out first. You got new life. That's maybe a new vitality in a project you're working on. Maybe some of you are switching jobs altogether. Maybe something has come in and it feels like nourishing energy that all of a sudden, if something wasn't really growing, all of a sudden it's sprouting out, it's blossoming. It's also where there's growth in an awkward position because this plant is kind of growing out of an old stump. So it's I don't know. I feel like if there was like a crack and like there was only this one little way and you are the one thing that comes out and sprouts, maybe even, I see like, you know, when a flower comes out in between the crack on a sidewalk. So it's almost like there was something that was solidified, but there was no growth, and you are the growth in that situation. I also feel like you're cracking the mold, or you're the one bending something around. So maybe it's even a change in the way you normally did something. Or it's you being the different one in an environment. Even you in a totally new environment. It's a new life. That feels really good. It's like you totally reinvented something, reinvented yourself, or reinvented how you were working on a particular project. You may get a fresh start, or you be called to bring a new perspective to your old job. Somebody sees what you have to offer as not just wisdom, not just potential, but as like a new vibrancy. It's like you are the growing factor. It's like you're the sunlight and the rain and the soil, you know, and the energy. So you may also get a tempting job offer or new place. Some of you might move. Some of you, if it's not about a job, some of you might find the perfect property or house that you were looking for. You're going to know, even if it's, I don't know why I see that potential. Now I see the concrete. So I see a place where maybe the land is perfect, but maybe the home needs an upgrade, or maybe there's nothing built on that land, but you can kind of imagine the blueprints of what can be there. There's something about something being just right. I don't feel like it's an awkward neighborhood or an awkward environment. There's something that as soon as you step in that vibration, as soon as you step in that company, as soon as you start this project, as soon as you walk into this house, whatever it is, it could even be walking into an office to the interview. There's something where it feels like, I feel like you breathe really natural. You feel really good. You feel like it's kind of like a home energy. I just see like a smile. I hear a knowing. You just know that something's right. That's a really nice place to start. So let's continue on and see what other messages would be helpful. I'm not sure what to pull though. Maybe this one. I haven't used these in a while. This is the spirit messages. So let's just get you a spirit message on new life. What is another message on you may get? I just thought of Billy Joel. Friday night I crashed your party. Saturday I said I'm sorry. Sunday came and trashed me out again. that it's the other verse though that I'm getting. It's the, remember how I found you there, alone in your electric chair. I told you dirty jokes until you smiled. You were lonely for a man. I said, take me as I am, and you might enjoy the madness for a while. There's something about somebody being kind of unusual. Maybe even you're the one taking a company or taking yourself or taking somebody else out of their comfort zone, and it felt like it was maybe too much to handle and yet not. I hope that made sense. That was kind of a cool song to come through. You may be right, I may be crazy, but it just might be a lunatic you're looking for. Turn out the light. Don't try to save me. You may be wrong for all I know, but you may be right. All right. Well, what does this say? Those difficult times will pass. Nothing bad lasts forever. The sun will shine again. The birds will sing, the clouds will clear, and you will be glad you kept moving forward. You will soon be rewarded for all your patience. Hold on. You are stronger than you think. You're the one that's going to slip through the cracks. You're the one that's going to, I just see like break the mold, make something happen, do something different in a different light, in a different way, with a different twist, with a different spice of you than anyone else has done this thing. Even if you're doing something where it's been done before, so you think, but no one's seen it how you present it. I hope that made sense. Also, I just thought of the song Shine by Collective Soul. That one. My take me in the water, let me tell me, what will I find? Will I find that one? Anyway, let's continue on. I didn't expect songs to come through. I want to do some of the mystery deck. All right, it's a big deck. So let's just pull a section out and get some bonus messages for you. What are some bonus mystery messages on new life and difficult times will pass? That's very much a this too shall pass situation. Maybe you thought something was taken forever to grow, or forever to change, or forever for that opportunity. Wow. You got more than one here. But let me show you what's coming out first. It's not just a little surprise. It's a big surprise that is coming in for you. Something you don't expect. Sometimes I'm not supposed to get the message on exactly what the surprise is, but it's definitely something that feels good. Oh, so extra message. What's the first name you think of? Maybe that's what this surprise is about. Maybe that's somebody you are connecting to in this new life, or maybe that could be somebody for some of you that you are getting out of a difficult situation with. Instant replay. I feel like whatever this surprise is that's coming in, it's going to be a moment or a situation or an event or an experience that you're just going to think about later on. There could also be, if you've had to have a lot of patience. Maybe for some of you, you're replaying something that you don't want to replay again because you have all this new energy. So if there was something that, kind of kept going around and around, or like a cycle that was on repeat, maybe this big surprise is you not repeating something that wasn't working and switching something up. So there's growth. Wow. You have a celebration. This is you celebrating a new life. This is you. I'm not getting weird energy off of this. Although sometimes this can be like, somebody says something and you're like, dude, what'd you just say? Really? But I'm not really. Maybe there is a moment where you're like, yeah. But I feel like that maybe creates some little friction energy that maybe gets you towards a different situation. I feel like for most of you, you are going to want to replay this beautiful moment, this celebration, this surprise, this new life, or this connection to maybe somebody that you think of right now over and over. again. I also feel like it's not just a one-time scenario. There's something about the celebration continuing to the after party, and then the cleanup in the morning, and then the next day is even better. There's something about the celebration continuing. Maybe it's just, you're up and Adam. Maybe the name is Adam. It's like something where you get excited to wake up. You're not groggy and hitting the alarm 10 times. That celebration energy is where you almost are restless in the night because you're so excited about what is coming in the morning. So also for some of you, you might win something. For some of you, you might get a really big, I actually hear bonus. Bonus. Maybe you're getting a bonus at work, or you feel like a certain experience is almost like the cherry on top of your situation. Things are already kind of going good, and then, you know, you get to taste the whipped cream and the cherry on top of that. What else? Head in the sand. Maybe before your head was in the sand. Maybe this is somebody else as well. Maybe the big surprise is somebody that constantly had their head in the sand and wasn't seeing what was going on around their butt is suddenly, you know, catching up or seeing something clearly. Head in the sand. That's usually ignorance or somebody that doesn't want to see the situation. If somebody has their head in the sand and they are ignorant, maybe the only thing you can do is just send some love. Hope that they pull their head out of their you-know-what and wish them the best and hope that they have a new vibrancy in their own life. Because I feel like if there's somebody connecting to you, and that's maybe that weird thing I saw, like, yo, what'd you say? Like, what's your head in their sand? Do you even see the reality of the situation? I kind of feel like that's maybe a lesson that somebody has to learn on their own. Just send love. Also, there could be somebody that you were thinking of that is ready to send some love to you. Send some positive vibrations, some celebratory energy. Maybe somebody's sending not just love, but a big old surprise for you as well. Let's see. Let's get a couple more. I like these. Let's take it. Oh, yeah, I like that. So you have new life. I saw that tree stump there, and now you got a tree, but guess what you get? Deep roots. So if something was under the surface for a long time, maybe you didn't see the growth that was happening. Maybe that was even growth within your own soul. I hear a connection, but I thought of a talent. Maybe you had to get back to the basics or put some energy into something. Maybe this big surprise is also you revealing something. Because this makes me feel now like I keep hearing reveal, but it could be like an opening or I don't know, like an event, maybe a birthday party, maybe a graduation. There's something about years with the tree, you know, the rings. And there's something about when I always think of the tree, I think of branching out or being flexible, bending with the winds of change. And I'm losing the cards over here. I gotta get it. Oh, where is it? Yes. Or even jumping timelines. I just stared at that. So maybe it is a blast from the past that's coming back. Maybe that has to do with that name you were thinking about. Let's see if anything else pops out. Ooh, yeah. All right. So, I mean, they can't all be positive. Sometimes you got to get a weird energy, a weird message to be aware of. Either you or somebody else, maybe somebody from your past, was giving a little too much to the wrong energy. Giving a little too much, who was, look at that person, like awkward in energy, trying to be the biggest monster in the room, maybe just not pleasant to be around. Somebody who just wanted to take and didn't have grace or gratitude. I feel like if somebody was over giving to the wrong person, I mean, they don't even want to see that energy screaming at them in the room, you know? So maybe that's why somebody's head was in the sand. Maybe that's also a situation somebody had to deal with on their own and figure out how to blast out of that situation. And maybe that was outside your control or happening in, you know, somebody's life that it was kind of just a lesson somebody had to learn on their own. And maybe that's why you have to send love. Maybe it feels like a huge surprise that somebody's gotten out of a weird ass karmic cycle if they were dealing with somebody like that. So let's see. Maybe that was you as well. Maybe you recognized in your old life that you didn't even recognize that you were giving to maybe the wrong person or the wrong environment. I feel like no mas. You or someone else isn't going to do that anymore, because we're playing that over and over as kind of constricting and stressful to somebody. Nope, not going to do it. I just saw like when you're in like junior high, somebody be like, talk to the hand. So I do feel like somebody had to put up some boundaries, maybe had to really speak their truth, step into a position of power. Oh yeah. All right. So this is extra. Not all of you are dealing with that situation, but if there was somebody who was going through a situation, maybe that is you. Maybe you had a breakup, a divorce, maybe it was unrequited love, or somebody was there for the wrong reasons. Maybe somebody kept putting their head in the sand, not dealing with a situation. I am getting that. I know this is really kind of weird, but I feel like this is not one of those breakups where either you or the person you're connecting to is like, any breakup, if you're used to something, even if it's unhealthy, is going to feel weird because it makes a lot of changes. But there's something about it almost feeling, I'm getting like a relief. So if this was a stressful situation, if it was unhealthy in any way, if it was a karmic cycle that needed to end a long time ago, or it was dealing with a group or people or a person where it was just sort of, I hear uneasy. Maybe it became more like that stump and not a lush forest or tree. Then I kind of feel like this has been underneath the surface for a long time. Also, if you are going through any kind of breakup or any divorce, I am sending you love, sending you comfort, sending you strength, because no matter what your situation is or was, that shit sucks. But there's something that I am feeling where there's better. You know that something beautiful is coming in. There's this, not just potential, but, endless possibilities that are ahead of you. I feel like it starts with that, no, you're not going to take where you were, or no, once you just decide that you're not going to stay where you are, then everything can change. If this is somebody else and you are finding out that they went through a breakup or a divorce, and maybe you knew about that, maybe you didn't know about that, maybe you were constantly sending this person love and strength, they got the energy. They received divine inspiration, healing, and guidance. So let's see if anything else comes out. All right, so we have messages kind of all over the place, but if new life is coming after a breakup, even if that's a breakup of an old you, that could be the breakup of, somebody's ego self. That could be the breakup of you in a particular group or somebody in a particular environment. That could be the breakup of a friendship that kind of got a little weird. This is this weird ass friend over here that always took advantage of someone, or always wanted to be around someone because they have something, or wanted to constantly get something out of it, but it was artificial, uncomfortable, ingenuine, then being out of that energy is going to feel like a relief. And through our cycles of life, which, we have many times, sometimes people stay in a cycle together and they have, roots that grow deep and they constantly grow with each other. And sometimes people grow apart. It is part of life, whether that's, a friend or a lover, or even just acquaintances that you're around, like coworkers, but maybe that you weren't really close with. So That transition isn't always easy, but there's something about this one being inevitable. Wow. And also, I know this is weird, but you know when people have that like divorce party, like, yay, I'm finally divorced, and they like, it should be where somebody's like crying on the couch and like eating ice cream and really going through it. I kind of feel like there's something about it actually being a celebration. It could also be where there's a reason for this breakup, that it actually has two people that go separate ways, but each end up to be in that energy of celebration, not recognizing that they each had maybe a new timeline to jump on, and that there's beautiful things awaiting them as soon as that split happened. It doesn't always have to be that one is down in the dumps and one is shining. It can be that two people disconnect and both end up on a better trajectory, that's such a weird word, towards their new destiny. Let's see if anything else pops. Let's get one more. I got big messages from these today. Anything else? Please and thank you. That's it. You got victory. And I don't think this has to be a one-sided victory. Somebody wins, somebody loses. There's something where this victory is all around a beautiful energy. I just thought of Nina Simone. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Like boom, tch, ba-dum, tch, ba-dum, tch, ba-da-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Like that. Like someone's gonna be like, oh, okay, well, this isn't so bad. Look at the sun shining. Like, ooh, new possibilities. I'm getting like the energy of freedom. So let's continue. You got victory on its way. Sometimes you got to go through some training sessions. You know, you got to lose some games. You got to figure out how to turn that light on in the dark to get to that victory. There's something about that victory feeling so much brighter after you've gone through something, rather than kind of just given the trophy. You know, it's like, I don't know why I saw this. It's like, let's say the difference in the energy where you really practiced something. Let's just say, just because I play the violin, it's the violin and I'm going to do a fiddling contest. All right. You practice these songs so much and then you get there and you're the only one. No one else showed up at the fair, you know, to, you know, be in the contest. So, you know, you get up there, you play, and that's nice. You know, you connect to the audience. Let's say you do a good job, but then they hand you the trophy and you're like, thanks. You know, it's like, now let's just say you get up there and whether you win or you fail, but you are with these other people that are amazing on the violin. And you just feel blessed to be in that experience, especially if you had the victory and you are the winner. Or let's just say you getting up on stage, because you always had stage fright, is the win and not the trophy. There's something about it not feeling empty. You know, whether it's what you had to go through to get yourself up there in the first place, or, you know, the friction that was around you, that you feel so, you know, really proud of yourself that, how did you win? How did you win? Those other people were so good. You know, but I still feel like you have this gracious kind of energy to the other people. Like, wow, you were amazing. I can't believe you didn't win up here. You want to hold my trophy with me? I kind of feel like it's really sweet. So let's continue. What's going on here today? These are big ass energies. Let's get a little clarity. I'm going to go to the tarot. Yeah, let's do that. Which one? I'm not sure which one to use. I guess this one, because it's right in front of me. So let's do one from the Thoth and see what the overall foundational messages that would be helpful to you. Let's see what today's message on the foundational energy to know about. That would be the most beneficial. What is the beneficial message energy today for the collective watching this reading to know about? Please and thank you. Beneficial message that, ooh, all right, so you got, yeah, well, I mean, I feel like we know that. Whatever is going away, it's going to feel so much better when that is gone. That's rough. That's the Ten of Swords. That's where it's basically feeling like you were stabbed in the back. You were betrayed. You know, somebody you trusted was just taking for the wrong reasons, and you thought they were there for, you know, mutual respect. It's where something goes away that's still, it's the 10. So whatever it is, it's not like it's a big surprise. It could be a big surprise, but then it will feel like a gigantic relief. But the Ten of Swords is sometimes where it's those little things, you know, the little pokes here and there that maybe each poke didn't really be a big trigger, but there gets to that point where it's like, no mas, like, you know, it's done. You know, there was all these chances for change. It's where you just become emotionally, or I don't know why I said emotionally, maybe mentally overwhelmed, that maybe really started to connect to emotions. Maybe somebody even kept the emotions in check, but their mind was all over the place. This is somebody that's clear that something is done, something's not going to happen because it's not working. All of those swords are just twisted around each other like barbed wire. It doesn't look healthy. It looks like there's a lot of anger kind of energy underneath with, you know, the orange and the red. There's something about the roots not working. There's something about that stability of the foundation of that maybe survival kind of energy not being thriving, living, growing. It just feels like all of that energy needed to you know, when you have to like put some fire to the surface of something because the plants were growing kind of awkward. There was a weird mold, or there was a weird bug, or there was a weird something. And sometimes you actually have to really just get rid of it, start with a solid foundation so that new fresh growth can be lush and vibrant. So something's ending here. That could have been the divorce, that could have been the separation, that could have been you leaving a job, that could have been an old mindset. But it's time for somebody not to be so twisted up anymore and to straighten themselves up. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right now. So a 10 is where you leave that baggage in the past. You've cleared the way, cleared your mind, see the possibilities of the future, and somebody's walking out the door. Or you're walking out the door. Don't let it hit you in the you know what. Because outside of that environment, you don't even want to, you know, replay what you went through. You just want to head towards the victory, head towards the love, head towards happiness and celebration, head towards this growth in this new life, head towards the big surprises that the universe has in store for you once this door was shut. So I'm going to get another one from the same. Clarify the Ten of Swords. Why is the Ten of Swords here? Please and thank you. Princess of Discs. Because you are going to be gifted a solid offer. You are carrying that seed of potential in your hands. That seed also looks like it's a shield. And look at how strong this princess or this page is. Even though a page is usually a younger energy, it's like she's covered with this. It almost looks like Viking fur. And it's all the way down to the ground. It's protecting the ground. She has this seed where even though around her, these trees are yet barren. They're not yet blossoming, you know, or blooming. But she knows that she has the, look at, even these trees have deep roots. She has the energy and she has the drive. She has the ambition. She has the, I keep hearing kahunas, like the big kahuna, like a wave. She has this, you know, thing. The Princess of Discs doesn't want to just look at something from afar. She wants to point her wand, her energy here, where she sees something in multi-facets. The energy is going into the soil to help grow those deep roots. She's not afraid to put her hands on something so she learns it better. The potential of this Princess of Discs is having something right in your hands, but knowing that there's still growth to go. It's being logical, realistic. It's knowing that, okay, well, right now is not maybe the best time to plant that seed because the season is a little off, but they don't give up. They keep going. Here, it can be somebody a little imbalanced, or they get, they're like, oh, I have this seed. How come I planted it in the ground when it was frozen, it's not growing. And then they walk away and don't nourish that garden. It's somebody who doesn't live up to the potential they have because they haven't put in enough effort into something. This takes a little bit of hard work. This is also where there is somebody who is beginning something anew. But it's a tangible beginning. It's where there can be this potential growth of new life as long as you're willing to sometimes start over. Put the right energy and effort into it. Go back to the drawing board. It's okay to be new in a new partnership, in a new environment, in a new home, in a new neighborhood, at a new job. New, independently by yourself and not with somebody always, taking, even though your beautiful heart was always trying to give. It's recognizing where to plant that seed of potential, because you're connecting with those earthy energies to know where that soil is lush and the growth will occur. I'm going to keep going. Let's get one more. It's also like a small offer. So sometimes it's a realistic conversation that happens. It's information that comes in, but you have to take that information and ground it. Write it down. Put something to use. Don't let it just kind of dissipate into the mist. So, if this is somebody who has an idea to get better at a skill, then you have to sign up for the class. You have to show up for the class. You have to be the one to volunteer. You have to do your homework. You have to put the energy into that project. Maybe it's not the best at first, but you get better the more you do something. So you have to get past that energy of potential and possibility and get more into the Knight's energy, where you're in experiences that create the growth for something to actually gain that stability and deep roots and lush forests of the future. Whew. It's a lot of energy today. Let's get one more. Clarify the Princess of Discs. So it could be Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus-like energy, or just sensual, earthy, realistic, relatable, reliable kind of energy. Wow. Well, there you go. That's a good thing. Look at where you're moving from. Whatever this is, you or who you're thinking of, who you're connecting to, or whatever the situation is, whatever was the past, that was that energy. Now look at the difference. It's same root energy, same vibrancy of that root chakra, the sacral chakra, that it's not survival. Now it's thriving. Now it's all of that energy into this love that turns into this light. I said something before about the trophy. Why have one trophy when you could be connected to the tree of life here with that shape, where it's not just an empty victory. It's this spiritual light that maybe starts at the top, but then filters into other people you meet in your life. Other areas of your life all get to feel this beautiful vibrancy of love, satiety, light. I just heard liberation, where it's like this, like a constant flowing fountain that expands your world. This is where you're around the people that you love to be around, that want to see you succeed, that are genuinely always happy for you, that even just in their energy, it's like there's that one, maybe I should grab that. There's a one quote in the Art of Life, and it's like, be thankful for those that bring joy to your life, because they are the charming gardeners that tend our garden of life, or something like that. It's like, you don't have to be in this happily ever after energy alone. You can choose to be in that happily ever after alone. But there's something about that happily ever after, and then you get the ... where that happily ever after storybook energy is even brighter and better when it's merged and grounded in the reality of being human, everyday life. It could also be, since we do have this little situation here where somebody had to recognize that maybe the dreams they foresaw or hoped for, maybe with a certain person or at a certain job, or even just dreams of the past, maybe didn't pan out to be so happily ever after all. And once that is let go of, you get the chance to change something around, to start something, to build up to that beautiful rainbow at the end of a storm. Sometimes you got to go through the storm. Sometimes you have to let go of a dream that is just not working. Get your head, or get whoever this is, get their head out of the sand and see that maybe the fantasy world that they got used to living in, but if they were wearing any kind of mask, or there was anything artificial or ingenuine or non-authentic around them, that's being let go of, because this is coming back down to earth, seeing something for the reality, putting energy into the earth, seeing all the different facets of a situation and recognizing that this can be somebody's truth. Just because one partnership didn't work out, or one was beautiful for years and then got a little weird, or maybe not even weird, but people just grew apart, not together, then there sometimes has to be a big inner standing on how to transition into a new cycle. Because I feel like the universe here, your higher self, what you signed up for, whoever this is that you might be inspiring or connecting to or getting clarity about, has signed up for on a soul level to have true happiness in their life, to shine that spiritual light in every circumstance that they go through. But sometimes you don't recognize that light unless you saw something kind of shitty, or you had something that was bright that got a little weird and dark, because there's a lesson that was gained. It was that weird chapter in somebody's book. But if your whole, you book was just bland and boring and vanilla and seven and sunny all the time, and every day was like the damn Truman Show, that's kind of artificial. You know exactly what to expect, but there's some kind of like plasticness about it, rather than being an epic novel of life. That's so much more exciting. Doesn't mean, every chapter is going to be rainbows and butterflies, but it's better than it being the plastic Truman Show, where everyone around is just putting on a mask, and he's the only one that doesn't know that his head was in his, his whole life. I don't know if you've seen the Truman Show, but I just got that really big. It's like somebody's getting out of the Truman Show, or out of Pleasantville, where everything was black and white. All of a sudden, there's this black and white world. It is not a black and white world to be alive. I say the colors must swirl, and I believe that maybe today we will all get to appreciate the beauty of gray. I'm such a weird reader. Thank you for being here. I know I do weird shit like go into song, but I get music a lot. I connect to music. The brain files of music in my old jukebox in the mind are pretty big. But there's something about all of a sudden, you live in this world of black and white. And then one day, that person is all of a sudden in color. You don't even have anything to process what it is you are seeing. There's something about that transition, or needing to process gifted an experience that's so different that you want to compare it to the black and white world. You want to compare it to the Truman Show, where everything was perfect every day, but all of a sudden when something goes wrong, like that's a lot to go through. But to not have that color, to not have the growth, to not have that beautiful experience in what is life and how we are here, feels like you're actually missing out on a blessing in disguise. So I want to go to something different. Let's do one from just I sometimes like to do different tarot decks just to see if anything comes out that's different. So let's see. The Satiety, 10 of Cups, it was so quick. Beautiful. 10 of Swords, Princess of Discs, and now you're moving out from that potential, the possibility, to planting the seed in the garden, gaining stability, getting across something. Not only like you are coming through the cracks of the concrete, but you're like, I'm going to get across that city with my motorcycle in my suit or, ball gown dress, holding that coin of potential and making it across the city, even if I have to use my Indiana Jones, Wonder Woman lasso to get it across. I will find that stability and balance to get across every step of the way. This is having patience. Transition doesn't happen like instantly. Transition into a new life doesn't happen instantly. Transition out of a situation doesn't always happen instantly. It's a transition. So however long it needs to take, you are now progressing from the page to the night. So you're getting more into the experiences that create the change, create the growth, create new stability. This is the night that knows when to get on, they know when to get on that motorcycle when the terrain is right, or when they got to book it, start a moving, but they know when they have to adjust, take their time, regain their balance, do something a different way, take a break if they need to take a break. Also, this is the night that does a lot behind closed doors that you can't always see. So it's like, let's go back to the fiddling contest. So maybe somebody didn't know that somebody was really scared to get on stage. Maybe somebody didn't know that that's the first time they've ever tried a fiddling song. Maybe somebody doesn't even know how to really play the violin, but they practiced their ass off and they got that song down, man. And now maybe somebody just sees that performance and they're like, wow, you're amazing. Do you want to be in my orchestra? And they're like, do you know how hard it was for me to learn that one song? That to the outside perspective, they don't know what happened behind closed doors, all the work that happened when others weren't looking. Sometimes somebody just sees the result. They just see that forest and not all the work that went behind planting everything, trimming everything, pulling the weeds out, dragging the hose out there when it was too dry. All the dirt that was in someone's hands and the back that was aching when they were, hovering over, digging in the dirt. They didn't see all that, but they see the end result. So it could be where somebody is now appreciating all the work that happened in the background. Maybe somebody didn't have awareness of what was going on in the background. Maybe that was you and somebody didn't know how hard you had to work to get to this new life. Or how hard it's going to be to have patience as something naturally blossoms where you are now. Upside down, it's imbalanced actions. I don't know why I want to show this one. Imbalanced actions. It's where maybe somebody was only in their head or didn't actually see the true surroundings, but always acted the same way. Constantly got out of balance, but did the same repetitive moves. I don't know why that sounded sassy, like moves. Maybe somebody has moves. All right, let's get one more. Clarify the Knight of Coins. Please and thank you. Experiences. Getting to the finish line, maybe not the fastest, but definitely learned the most along the journey. Also, that is the knight that would pass that torch along, or as soon as they not even get to the end, they have a new goal in mind. They don't want to get to the end and then just stop. That's somebody who constantly adjusts and has new dreams that they want to achieve and experience in their life. That's the night. They want to experience it. They want to put their hands on it. They want to be sensual. They want to feel the earth. They want to be involved in the growth. That's like the opposite of this. It's also where somebody has found balance. It's also where somebody has a lot to give, but they find the right environment to give it. This is somebody where somebody gives, not to get. This is where you have a back and forth energy coming through in your life where It's energy. It's not gifts. I give you a gift, you give me a gift. I give you a gift, you give, that's contracts. It could be contracts for some of you. If some of you have given in the past and somebody maybe had to wait to get their footing together or get across a situation to maybe get their finances in order, but maybe you gave out a loan. Maybe somebody is finally able to repay that. Maybe somebody hasn't gotten enough money here. They have a job, but they're still getting their grounding in order, but maybe that's somebody paying you back by painting your house. There's still a way to do an energy exchange. It doesn't have to always be equal. I feel like also a lot of you, if you, I see like financials. I feel like if some of you, and there's all these deep roots, if some of you in the past already made a healthy investment, whether that's an investment in somebody that comes through and helps you, or something that brought you stability, I feel like something's going to come back like big time. I see like a jackpot kind of energy, like a windfall. Also, even with that, the grapes, it's like somebody's offering those grapes and yet they look like they're golden grapes. Grapes usually represent abundance. Also, the sunflower follows that opportunity, follows the sunshine, follows that energy, knows where that energy is vibrant. And there's a sunshine out, or the sunflower out with the full moon. So there's something about this opportunity coming through day or night, or it has its own illumination that it doesn't even need outside sources to blossom. Not reliant on outside sources. So generous giving. If you have given generously and not gotten back in the right environment, this is the universe generously giving back to you. But it's also you having to recognize if you were overgiving to the wrong person. You have to see that in reality and take those beautiful seeds of abundance and energy of your heart that you want to give to maybe a different resource or place or person where they are open and in absolute gratitude for what you have to offer. Because it's coins, so it's people, places, things, energy on earth in experiences. It's not just money. Money comes, money goes. Money is important, but there's something about it being more energy here. Growth. Unbalanced taking. Well, could be unbalanced giving too. So one more. Page of Coins. That's just a double message. So right now, I feel like this is the biggest message. Page of Coins, look at all those possibilities, all those hot air balloons, to see the elevated perspective. It's like this little energy is here in a little suit, you know, a little suitcase or that briefcase is too big to even hold. It's almost dragging on the ground. That coin's really big, but yet they're looking out at that landscape, that possibility, all of that earth that can be planted. It starts with one seed. It starts with a lot of effort. I'm not really getting that this is a child energy. I'm feeling like this is okay to start over. This is okay to allow yourself to be new. Recognized opportunity. You're not going to recognize that opportunity if your head is constantly in the sand or replaying an old cycle. Or being thrown off by weird people over here. Weird energies. Upside down, it's disconnected goals. It's where, like, you know, you planted the seed in the wrong season, then it never went back. Or planted the seed in the right season, got sidetracked, took your energy somewhere else and not even realize that it was growing a big lush forest, but no one was ever there to, pull the weeds out. So it got overrun. What's at the bottom? 3 of Cups. I mean, that could be a celebration coming through, being around the right energies, getting away from the wrong energies. It's usually where you have these beautiful moments that give you reason to celebrate. It could be a surprise party coming in. It could be you just celebrating this new life energy. It's gleeful. It's happy. It's being around people that have that beautiful vibration that make you smile. What is it upside down? Upside down is, I wanted to say obsessive, but it says extensive or excessive expectations. Always expecting you to be happy. Don't you have a smile on your face? We're at a birthday party here. Come on, we have to take pictures to put online so everybody knows that we're, this happy friend group. Smile. And it's like, yeah, inauthentic. Or it's somebody that puts on the front like they are the best. I'm getting like, the most popular ones, and yet they're miserable inside. Or they're just always shining shade because it's like the mean girls, the mean boys. There's something so much more genuine about this upright, even if it's not, happy smiles one day. Those are the people that if they know you're going through a divorce, they know you're going through a breakup, they know you like some Ben and Jerry's ice cream, they're going to come on over and say, hey, you okay? I know you're going through something, but if you want me to stay, I can. If not, I at least know you like this ice cream and I'm going to leave it for you. If you need anything, I'm here. So it's not that you always have to be perfect, in this happily ever after, everything's a storybook energy. No, it's reality. Shit happens in life. Sometimes life sucks ass. And sometimes it's such a gift. So choose to be around the people that I'm getting soul family, who you connect with via your soul. We can have new soul family that come in our life. We can have family or people around us, friends, blood family, co-workers, whatever it is, that are there for a harsh-ass lesson. Because we never learned that lesson as a soul if we didn't have that weird energy or that weird situation or that, period in your life. But it shouldn't be in your life so you get swallowed by it. It's there to be the wounded healer. It's there so you grow, because that's why we're here as souls. Not to get stuck and stagnant and go through weird situations forever in our life. It's to figure out if you're in a weird situation that you are not happy with, what can you do to make a change so that you are one step towards what would make your heart sing and your soul feel vibrant, at least towards tomorrow. What have you learned from experience something that you would never want to go through again? What did you learn? Maybe you are the one to break a generational karmic cycle of a family. Maybe you're the one to break that mold, to do something different. And now that mold is not passed along to the next generation, or you are at least an inspiration to gift others that beautiful self-awareness that they can maybe do it too. There's something about you really getting through a situation, being a badass, being a strong you-know-what, so that you are an inspiration that gives, you grant others, I don't know why I see you help others grant their own wish. I hope that made sense, to be in their own personal power. Wow, this was a bold reading. This is bold energy today. Bold as it was, let's end with a message from the universe. Final message from the universe, please and thank you. What's the final message? That would be helpful. There are so many cards here. This reading was almost overwhelming. I also feel like it was very like somebody needed to hear this, either to understand what somebody else is going through, or maybe it's you're the one going through this. But I feel like there's such a switch up of what was to what is coming. I'm going to show you this. This is not a weird surprise. This is a good one. Even if this surprise is kind of like a tower and it feels weird, it's because the weird helps something go away to bring you the blessings. What is the final message from the universe? Please and thank you. Final message from the universe. It's never... Oh my goodness, I love this. Thank you for being here. I feel so blessed when we come full circle. So excited. Where is it? New life. You may get a fresh start or bring a new perspective. You also have these endings. And it's never too late to start over. You have to trust in the magic of new beginnings. They are waiting for you. Notice them, seize them, and appreciate all that you have. Just relax and trust. Just trust. You have to start over. You can do it. Experience by experience. You know, imbalance to balance that you have to do. You know, all those deep roots growing underneath the surface, and however far you have to branch out and change and be flexible like the tree and go through different seasons and different weather and have little squirrels store some nuts in you. I don't know why I saw that at the end. I just saw like a little squirrel with a little squirrel hole. So that being said, I love you so much. I gotta go and get some things done. I hope this reading was helpful, beneficial, enlightening. You know, that you found something that you connected with. That being said, I love you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.